These are views I've never seen before. Good morning. So I'm walking a stretch of the Pennine Way today. Some of it I've walked, but some of it I haven't walked. I'm just going a little bit further than I've previously walked along the Pennine Way in this area. I parked up near Wessenden Head Reservoir, and there is Wessenden Reservoir. The weather, I'm not sure about the weather. It's been really hot the last few days, but the weather broke yesterday and there was quite heavy rain last night. There was some rain on the drive-in, and I'm not sure what it's going to do today. It's certainly a lot cooler than it has been so far, but that's not a bad thing. So actually, I think last time I was here, I missed this somehow. You've got this clough with these small waterfalls, and over here you've got a much bigger waterfall. I think last time I was here, I took a higher path and I came down over there and then down and then up, and somehow I missed this very small section where there's just so much going on. So this isn't planned, but I'm going to come off my intended route. There's no paths marked on the map to get down closer to these waterfalls, but you can see a trail where people have gone down, so I'm going to give that a go. Hopefully I'll be able to rejoin the planned route further along. You know, I didn't come looking for waterfalls on this walk. I knew there were a couple on the route, but I really wasn't going to bother with them. I feel like I've been a bit too focused on waterfalls recently, but I mean, I couldn't not come to this one. So as hoped for, I was able to find a trail that's just taken me along this brook to the bottom of this clough that I was looking at from above. The trail is very overgrown though, and the bracket is very high. I don't know how far to go to rejoin the Pennine Way, so I'm just going to push on. This is what I'm wading through. I mean, the trail itself seems fairly established. It's just that the bracken has grown up very high. I've rejoined the Pennine Way now, which actually comes down there over this bridge and up this very steep bit here, which actually looks like how it's been worked on since I was last here. Last time I was here, it was literally just a scramble up the steep hillside. It looks like they've laid down all these stones. Although it doesn't look like it's made it particularly easier. some people struggling a little bit. I've just realised the bottom of that clough that I just looked at, there is a trail that goes from the top of there all along the upper side of that clough to the very top, where there's a fairly big waterfall, or a couple of big waterfalls. You cross over and then you come back the path the other side. Doesn't take you all the way down to the bottom, but kind of goes along, and then you go over a dam. So that's what I did last time. So I never actually walked along the bottom here, which is why I missed that waterfall. Yeah, that path is treacherous. They put rocks down. I'm sure the rocks are new from when I was last here. But I don't think it makes it any easier. If anything, it makes it more difficult. And if you've got trekking poles, which I imagine the majority of people walking the Pennine Way will have, you really can't use your trekking poles because there's so many little gaps between the rocks where the end of your trekking pole will just get stuck and wedged in, and it probably makes it a lot more dangerous trying to use trekking poles. The only good thing about that is it's not that far, it's not that high. When you get to the top, you're greeted with this strange thing. Doesn't look very safe. So this is the section of the Pennine Way I've not walked before. It's walking along the upper side of that clough, which is called Blakely Clough, and there are quite a few small little waterfalls along there, including a really nice one near the bottom. And I have been up there before and explored those waterfalls. The purpose of today's walk was really just to walk this very, very short section of the Pennine Way, but also to kind of get an idea, kind of a recce of this moorland up ahead, because this is obviously not somewhere I've walked before, and I just wanted to see what there is to see. Oh, there's a waterfall. Not a bad view, not a bad view at all. Here the Pennine Way goes between two reservoirs. So this is Black Moss Reservoir, but something interesting is happening with the other one. This is Swelllands Reservoir. Looks like it's been completely drained. Black Moss Reservoir also looks to be quite low. It's almost like being at the seaside. According to the map, just the other side of Black Moss Reservoir, there is a very small reservoir called Little Black Moss Reservoir. Can't actually see it at the moment. I'm not sure if I will get a view of it or not. But currently I'm looking for somewhere to have lunch, preferably out of the wind. I've come off the Pennine Way just a little bit to have a look at these views. This is an area I don't know and I've not walked. but interestingly, it looks like Little Black Moss Reservoir is no more. You can see where the dam wall would have been along there, so it would have been just there. It's still marked on the Ordnance Survey map, and it's still coloured blue. I've walked back a very short distance to Black Moss Reservoir, and I think I'll have my lunch here. I've just had a very nice lunch, sat here in the sunshine. It's really quiet here. It's strange. I'm out of the wind and there is no noise at all. Almost no noise at all. Look at Manchester in the smog. Wow. These are views I've never seen before. Not entirely sure what that is. Some kind of boundary stone, maybe. The Pennine Way goes off in that direction, but here I'm going to turn off it, and this is the Standage Trail. Not Stanage, but Standage. I keep misidentifying this because it's actually further away than it looks. I think that's Pure Hill. It's actually the other side of the road. Looks like it's worth a walk. We're officially right on the very edge of the Peak District here, and over there is the Pennines. From here it's not quite so impressive, but only because you can't see all the exposed rock formations that are on that side there. But it's a hell of a lot bigger than you think it is. As I say, I thought it was much closer. I didn't realise it was this far away. Now I think, I might be entirely wrong, but I think this road here that I'm about to come to marks the northern boundary of the Peak District National Park, although I may have made that up. Right there is Mount Road. This road here is Old Mount Road, and I guess I could walk along there. But I'll go this way because I think this is still the Standage Trail. And hopefully it'll be a little bit nicer walking. It seems to have a ruin in the middle of the golf course. Okay, well, right over there, right at the very top, is where I left the car. This valley is full of reservoirs, the top one being Wessenden Head Reservoir. So I walked down the valley for maybe just under half the length of the valley, and then I went up, continued following the Pennine Way, which at that point came up this way, and I've kind of just walked around on that moorland, come down, and now I'm on the Standage Trail. That's Marsden down there. In a minute I'm going to drop down into Marsden, I think just the very outskirts of Marsden, and then I think I'm crossing over that dam, I can't remember, and then just going back up the valley all the way back up to the top. I only needed to just cut through a tiny little bit of Marsden right at the very edge, and now I am walking along this dam wall, the top of the dam wall. So I'm going to cross the dam wall, and then on the other side I'm going to head up and then just keep going until I get back to the car. This is Butterley Reservoir. Now that's a pity. Last time I was walking around here, it's actually on a path way up on the top edge of the valley, and the water here was just cascading down. It looked amazing, but today nothing coming over it. And this is Blakely Reservoir. So you can see where the Pennine Way goes up that really steep bit. You can just about see some of the waterfalls in that clough besides the Pennine Way. This is the clough that I passed the bottom of on that overgrown path earlier, not realising that it's the clough that I have previously walked alongside. So what a lot of people do is they go up that really steep part of the Pennine Way, and then instead of following the Pennine Way, they take the trail that goes all the way along the upper side of this clough. There's a couple of big waterfalls at the top, and you cross, kind of ford the stream at the top, and then the path goes back along the other side, on the top of the other side, and eventually you cross over one of the dams up here. So that's the loop pretty much complete, and now all I need to do is retrace my steps back to the car, which is a couple of miles away, uphill unfortunately. So I've just passed Wessenden Reservoir. The end is almost in sight. So this is Wessenden Head Reservoir, the smallest and the uppermost of the reservoirs. Only a very short distance now back to the car. So it's been a very enjoyable walk. The weather, I wasn't sure what the weather was going to do, but it's actually turned out really nice. It is quite hot in the sunshine, but the sun's only out part of the time, and there's a nice cool breeze anyway. Yeah, good walk. Good to check out that waterfall that I hadn't visited before. Good to check out a very small section of the Pennine Way that I haven't walked before, and yeah, and then Pure Hill, and now that area looks like it's worth a walk. Back of the car now. That was about 10 miles. Really enjoyed that. Hope you did too.